On this episode of RC Kicks, we're taking a look at this, my latest acquisition from Tamiya for the fix and flip projects. Well, fix and keep, you know what I'm like. Anyway, we'll gloss over that. It's the DF-01, it's the Tamiya Terra Conqueror on kit 58115. Came out all the way back in 1992. So stay tuned to find out just how much work it's going to take to turn this back into a shelf queen. And insane amounts of money. Hi, welcome to RC Kicks. On today's show, well, yes, we're back at it again to see if I can bankrupt myself in restoring an old vintage car. And this time it's going to be this, the Terra Conqueror from Tamiya. Now, some of you that have been watching the channel for a while will probably remember that I actually had a brand new in box one of these. Yeah, I sold it. It got so valuable, and the idea of me actually building it, because I love to build my cars, was that if I built it on the show, it would depreciate so much that I put it up for sale and it sold for an insane amount of money within 2 hours. So whether I actually underpriced it or what, I don't know. But it went off to a new happy owner, and that money got reinvested in some other random RC stuff. But I do like this car quite a lot, and I saw this one come up and I thought, oh, that was about perfect kind of condition for what I need to do a restoration on the show. Also in the background, I have been collecting, there's a fly in here, I have been, get up, I've been attacked. So I have been collecting a few bits and pieces in the past. Now, if you don't know about this car, I'll do a little bit of background about it, and then we'll talk about the actual car itself, and then we'll talk about what I'm actually going to do to restore it. So this is kit 58115. Now this came out 3rd of the 12th, 1992 on the DF-01 chassis, and it only ran for the maximum of 2 years before it was discontinued. And we haven't seen it reread yet. Hopefully we will see it again, being that we've seen the Top Force and the Top Force Evo. There's quite a few chassis that came out on the DF-01, but I'll get to those in a bit. Now, this wasn't the first one. The first one was actually the Manta Ray, which came out on the 23rd of October 1990 on the DF-01. Then the Top Force came out on the 26th of November 1991 under a DF-01. Then there was a Top Force Evolution, which came out on the 16th of June 92. Then after that, this one came out, and this was released on the 3rd of the 12th, 1992. Now, what's so special about this one? Well, it is very different from Tamiya. You see, when these came out, all the other cars, this one came out with full bearings. It came out with a Dynatec 01R 19-turn motor included in the kit, which you can see on the box down here, which is quite rare. You don't normally see that, and that only happened with one other kit. The Daytona Thunder was the only other car that had that motor in the kit. So only 2 cars from Tamiya ever came out with that as part of the kit. So it's quite a rare one. Also, it was rarer because it had the Top Force Evo orange wheels. Now, we know the Evo came out last year, so these wheels are now not as valuable as they once were. So this kit used to demand quite a lot of money because the motor alone is worth a substantial amount, as well as these wheels and tyres. So you could actually take it, break it for parts, and it would be worth even more. So that then drove up the kit prices for the complete ones, which is like what I had. Now, this particular one I picked up seems to have everything with it. It's got the original electronics with it, original mechanical speed controller. It's got the manual, which is in really good condition. The box is kind of okay. It's got a sticker on it and it's a little bit damaged. I gave it a bit of a wipe over, but it's okay. I'm not really a box fan, but it means I've got pretty much everything that came with it. I've even got the original paint that this was painted in. Now, this is obviously not box art. It's in some green color. It's actually done reasonably well. There's nothing wrong with the body. It's in reasonably good condition. It's just not box art. What am I going to do? Well, the first thing, let's look at the car. The car itself has been driven quite a lot. It is complete. It has got a little broken upright, but that's nothing. That's easy enough to replace. But as you can see, it has all the original electronics in it. I have the battery clip tray. The motor is a big part of this kit, and I'm pleased to say that it actually has it. I've taken it out just to look at it. Now, when I bought this, it didn't actually say that it had this, and the motor was actually put in a way where the top of the motor was facing upwards, so none of the images actually had the classic logo on it, and it didn't mention anything in the advert either. So I looked at the M bell, matched it up with another one of these that I have, and it did have it, which is brilliant because this is a little gem all on its own, and it's a pretty decent motor. So as soon as it arrived, I took it out just to check to make sure the condition. It has got a little mark on it because it was actually facing downwards. It wasn't put the other way around, unfortunately, but it's still in pretty good condition. So it will go back into this car once I've restored it. The chassis has done a few miles. As you can see, it's fully worn, but parts for this are actually quite easy to replace. So the bits I already have, which hopefully will stop me from bankrupting myself, are as follows. Brand new set of Evo wheels, which is what this car uses. So I've got those, even though the wheels that are actually on this aren't that bad. So I've got those. They only cost me, I think it was £15 for the fronts and 18 for the rears. Now, if you go back 2 years ago, these were crazy money. Then, luckily enough, I have original decals. Yes, these are worth an absolute fortune, but I picked these up cheap a couple of years ago, so I've got a set of decals for it. The other thing, which is fantastic, I have a pre-cut out, needs a little bit of work, but it's fine, original body for it, so I can actually paint it up box art as well. So that is another thing. I can't forget what I paid for those, but being that I've had them a few years, a lot less than what you'd pay now. Also picked up some uprights, so obviously I can fix the broken one, no issues there. In my parts bin, I happen to have a load of bits and pieces, so I have new arms, front and rear, new bumper, new mount. So I have those. I forget what I paid for those, I've just kind of got them over time. So the things I'm missing, which I've gone online and actually bought right now before I did this video, a chassis, a front bulkhead, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and a tin of paint to paint it, because you need to have the, what color is it? It is PS24. Which I don't have, so I need to get that. Now, my main problem is two things. One, I've got other stuff stacked up, so this is going to come on later on once I get those out of the way, like the truck needs to be finished, and then I've got the Porsche GT1 Street to do. But the lead time on the chassis could be anything up to a month or so, so I'm going to wait and then I'll just bring this in. But as soon as it arrived, I wanted to show you, because it's quite an interesting one and one of my favourites. So from a price point of view, I paid, including shipping to get it here, £200 for the whole kit. It also came with an ancient charger, which I didn't use, and a couple of batteries that I just disposed of. So £200 including shipping. Then on top of that, there was handling and import. So that cost me £226 for everything. Then as for the decals, stickers and all that kind of stuff, I kind of had them already. But if you were having to buy those now, that's the problem. You'd be looking at this would now be pushing into the £400 mark, going on the decals being, what, £50 for the decals. Original body is going to cost you £40, £50. So yeah, but I think I can actually do it for a reasonable amount. I don't know what these actually sell for in mint condition. We'll have to have a look, but I'm pretty sure I probably won't be upside down in this car, but I'll probably break even though I've got all the bits and pieces. So there's just a first look, and this will be back on the show probably February time. Anyway, thanks so much. See you soon. Bye-bye.